This is episode 50, and it is Thursday, December 15th, 2016, and this is the last episode of the year. We are celebrating year end, so I'm going to take a couple of weeks to rest and recuperate, make some changes, and be back to you in the new year. I am going to start off with some big prizes for the end of the year. We've been running quite a few spackles throughout the year that have sort of culminated into people finishing some pretty awesome major projects. So let me, without further ado, get through those first. I've already drawn all of the names. I just have to announce them. So we had the Zero to Hero spackle going on in the Ravelry group. For those who aren't familiar with the Zero to Hero, basically it was going from the raw fiber. It didn't have to be a raw fleece or anything, but from the fiber, spin it, and then do something with it, woven, knit, whatever you wanted to do. And we had an FO thread that was chatter free. I'm sorry if I deleted your posts when you were congratulating one another on what you'd accomplished and what you'd done. I needed to keep it sort of empty, if you will. We had two winners. I drew two names. So the first one was Photo Knit Gal, which is Robbie from Jacksonville, Florida, who I've gotten to know through the Slack channel. Congratulations, Robbie. You have won 125 grams of Hedgehog Fibers Merino Silk Flax. I will get that into the mail to you. If I actually have your address, I think. So don't worry about emailing me. I'll just pop it in the mail for you, Robbie. So that is going to you. The next prize was Knitwit Vic, which is Vicky in Sebringville, Ontario. Vicky, I think you must have like a 4-leaf clover in this group or something because you keep winning. And you have won a Smith & U pencil roving. This is Superwash BFL. And actually, this will be fantastic for socks. So if you take the pencil roving and if you lay it out on your table in a circle and find the center and just take it apart and make two strands, you can spin beautiful sock yarn and then chain ply it. Even though this is a solid, chain ply it with quite high twist and it'll make awesome sock yarn. And like I said, this is Superwash BFL, so it'll be great, great, great for socks. So that's going to Vicky. So we also had a big chatter thread, and the chatter thread was going on throughout the year, and people were really, really supportive of one another, and there was tons of ideas, and people were really helping one another out and giving ideas and feedback. There were over 550 posts in that thread. I am going to start a new thread for 2017 for those who would like to continue and would like to continue working on their Zero to Hero for 2017. Many of us have talked about doing a HAP for 2017, and we were kind of calling it the year of the HAP for 2017, but I think we're going to stick with Zero to Hero and people can do whatever they want. I personally am going to do a HAP. I just don't know what my fiber is going to be just yet. I'm still in the planning stages. So in the chatter thread, I drew 3 names because there was so much support in that group, and I felt like people really were helping one another and really supporting one another. So the first name that I drew was ABBA54, which is Damaris in Westchester, Pennsylvania. You have won Braid of Three Waters Farm. This was Club from, I can't remember what month it was from. I thought it said on here, but it doesn't. Anyways, it's Frosted Daybreak, a beautiful pastel colorway. And this was Bamboo Merino Tussa Silk. So it'd be lovely to spin, Damaris. And you and I also share a birthday, which was kind of cool that when I noticed that on Ravelry. It was just one of those things I glanced at and I thought, oh. So the second person that I drew was Lemon Chamama, who is Amy in Germany, who's been very active in the group as well. Amy, you have won, and if you guys could all send me your email, your addresses, Damaris and Amy, can you guys send me your mailing addresses? This is some more pencil roving from Smith & U in Kamloops, British Columbia. Again, this is Superwash BFL, and I would highly recommend dividing this into 2. And so take the pencil roving and divide it down the middle and spin to 2 bobbins and chain ply quite tightly, and you'll have a beautiful pair of socks. So that is going to Amy in Germany. And Amy and Damaris, if you could send me your mailing addresses, like I said. And the last one is going to post number 234, which was Rochelle, Endless Roving, which her and I, it was our brainchild at the beginning of the year that started this spackle in the first place. So I was really pleased to see Rochelle, your name drawn. So Rochelle is actually local to me. She's on the Gulf Islands here in British Columbia. and you have won a Delaque Notions case. This takes both short, long, straight needles and circular needles. So I won't open it up, but this is for you, Rochelle, and I will get that in the mail once I get your mailing address from you. So those are all the prizes. I was going to draw from the Blast Off Along, but I noticed there are still people that are working on stuff and trying to get stuff done by the end of the year. So why don't you continue to work on that, and sometime in January, I'll do a draw from that thread as well. So congratulations to all of our winners, Robbie, Vicky, Damaris, Amy, and Rochelle. I'll get that stuff in the mail to you as soon as I can. I do have some housekeeping to finish up this year that I need to cover really quickly. I don't want to go on and on, but there will be some changes in the new year. My husband and I have been trying to figure out some things around our home and with our family life, and I'm actually going to be working a little bit more in the new year in my career job, which is I'm a critical care nurse, for those who don't know. And I work at a big trauma center, and I have an opportunity to do a little bit more at work, and I'm going to take it in terms of just being there a little bit more often. I'm really looking forward to it, actually, because there's some opportunities in the future that I hope to take advantage of as the kids get older, and I would like to be around a little bit more and more present. So in that vein, the last shipment of Fiber Club is going to go out in January to those who are in Fiber Club. And my friend Katrina, who many of you know now through Slack channel and the Ravelry group and whatnot, is actually going to be taking it over. There will be more information to come. So please don't go and change your tiers just yet on the Patreon page. I will have more information for you in January, and you can decide what you want to do. So she is going to be able to grow the club and do more with it compared to what I can do. There will be a blog post on Monday, so just wait for that and read through that. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. But January, I will mail out the last club, and then those tiers that are Fiber Club will be deleted eventually before February is billed. So this also goes for workshops. So anybody who is in the workshop channel, after January goes through around like January 5th or January 10th, the workshop channel is going to be deleted as well. So if you would like to continue to support the show, which I hope that you would like to, if you could just drop down to one of the lower tiers, that would be great. So you can think about supporting in the co-exec level. You can think about supporting the Thoughtful Spinner, which goes towards the book that Katrina and I are working on. There's quite a few other levels. So that'll take down the support of the show quite a bit in terms of some of these tiers that we have unlocked and broken through. And that's okay. I'm quite happy to let some of that stuff go and just focus on the weekly podcast and the Slack channel. And I'm actually kind of excited about the things that the new year will hold. So let January go through for charging, and then you can decide what you want to do after that and switch around your stuff. But by January 15th-ish, 20th-ish, those tiers will be deleted. And like I said, for Fiber Club, there will be more information from Katrina. She will be offering a 25, 50, and 100 gram club. So please stay tuned. That will be through her Etsy shop. I'm really excited to see what she does. And I will provide all the links and all the information for all of that so that you can get into something for February. And I hope that you will consider continuing to support the show, even if it's just a few dollars. It's what keeps us on the air. I think that's everything in terms of Fiber Club and workshops. The other thing that I just need to cover really quickly is breed studies is actually supposed to start again on January 1st. If you have been sort of active on the Ravelry group and the Slack channel over the last couple of days, you will notice that Color Studies has now been launched. We've got our colorways from Karen, our guest dyer at Farm Fairy Fiber, and she created 2 awesome colorways for us to delve into and to explore. So I think starting another breed study right now is probably not really high on most people's list. So I'm thinking that we will do a breed study once a year and we'll run it for the whole year, and then we'll do a color study once a year and we'll run it for the whole year. So I hope that that's okay with everybody. It just started to feel like it was a little bit too many things happening and a little bit too many things launching, and I think many of us are actually just getting going with some of this stuff. So rather than introducing a whole bunch of new stuff, I'd rather we worked through some of what we've already got going on. So on Sunday, I will release in the Ravelry group and on Instagram the coupon code that you need for the color studies and the fiber, and all of the links to Karen's Etsy shop. Please be aware that she is offering superwash merino and untreated merino. So if you would prefer to have untreated, please just pay attention to your shopping cart when you're checking out of Etsy, and make sure that you've got the untreated in your cart if that's what you would prefer. And like I said, on Sunday, the coupon code will go out to everybody. Those who are Patreon supporters have already received that coupon code, and Karen is working to get your orders out ASAP. So I think that is everything. Thank you as always for your ongoing support. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. I think that's sort of everything that I needed to cover. So breed studies will start again in July, and in the meantime, throughout the rest of the winter, we'll finish up our breed study that we're currently working on and work our way through color studies. So I hope that's clear as mud. I have not been working on very much over the last week. I have been sick. You can hear it in my voice. I'm still really congested. We've been doing a lot, me and the kids. We've been today we spent the day with my best friend and her kids. We have a date with the kids' godmother on Thursday because she's in town. They live in Calgary. And with one of my dear friends and her little guys as well. And we just we're gearing up for the holiday season. And I've put away a bunch of my crafting stuff and a bunch of my knitting that I've been kind of working on and putting aside and working on and putting aside. So I don't have anything to share with you except for my mitered squares blanket. I'm going to throw in at the end some video that I took of my mitered squares blanket so you can kind of see what it looks like. Although I have added about probably a dozen squares since I took that video of it. But this is what it's looking like so far. And I'm really happy with it so far. It's a lot of work. These blankets, I am really surprised at how much knitting these blankets have in them. This is the first section on the one side, and this is actually part of the section that I added after I took the video. You will notice a couple of these colorways in here. They're going to be hard to share, but these ones in here, they're all Fiber Club. And I have been really pleased at how much Fiber Club I've actually been able to include so far. This is Fiber Club here. Yeah, this is Fiber Club. There's just tons of Fiber Club in there so far, which I'm really pleased about. This down here, these two squares are actually the squares that I spun. That was the combo draft of 3 completely different colorways at our guild about 2 months ago. I was able to throw those in, and they became the corner of the blanket. This is as wide as I'm going to make it. It's about 140 centimeters wide, which is about a lap quilt size. And there is a lot of Sweet Georgia in here. This is Sweet Georgia. This is Sweet Georgia. This is Fiber Club down here. This is Three Waters Farm. These two are actually my exploration station. They're leftovers from that. I've included a couple of things. You might notice this square is my combo spin that I had planned that was Ancient Arts yarns, the dark purple and the seafoam green. I have scrapped that project. I'm going to do something else with that fiber, but I did spin all of those samples, and so those are in there, which is kind of fun. This is some hedgehog fibers that Katrina and I have done for the book. This is some natural undyed merino that I had been working on about a year ago, and I threw some of it in. There is just a ton of stuff in here. Here's some more Sweet Georgia. And there's a lot of stuff in here that's old that I spun when I first came back to spinning. Like this in here is freckle face fiber. She's not dyeing anymore. But I really loved this colorway. It's the color of it's the yarn that I made my wraps per inch toque out of, and that's what that sample yarn, which is really kind of cool. So when I glance at this, I see a lot of projects and a lot of things that I've worked on not only in the past year, but actually even longer than that, which is really cool. So this is the side that I'm working on right now over here. There's some spunky eclectic in there, some West Coast color and carding. This is actually some hedgehog fibers, which was my asymmetric shawl that I did a couple of years ago, and this has black alpaca in it. This is Fiber Club. Yeah, it's really neat to go through all my stuff. I actually went pillaging in my stash the other night, and I was pulling stuff out that I had sort of earmarked for other projects, but taking a couple of grams off to put another square on here won't hurt other projects. And so I've sort of slowly been taking from other skeins of yarn just to get some variety in there, because I was finding that I was sort of in this, like, this area here is all green and it goes on for quite a while. And I was like, okay, I need some other colors. I need some colors to bridge moving to other stuff. And so I started sort of pillaging from other projects, and that was kind of fun because it reminded me of stuff that I put away a long time ago that I haven't worked on recently, and stuff that I haven't worn recently. And yeah, it sort of has ended up being a little bit of like a prayer blanket or a prayer shawl, or a sort of a reflection kind of a project, because it's taking me back to all these other projects that I've done in the past or things that I'm planning for the future, which is really neat. So I'm enjoying that, and I think I'm going to work on it some more over the holiday season. I'm not probably going to start anything new. I actually feel like I need a little bit of a break from my wheels and a little bit of a break from my knitting projects. So I actually went through my stuff last night, and I put a whole bunch of stuff away just to clear up for Christmas. We're hosting dinner this year, which I'm really excited about. And it was nice to just sort of get stuff put away, and I'll readdress it in the new year and sort of pull out what projects I want to keep working on, finish off my fireside pullover probably over the next few weeks, and let the rest of it kind of languish for a couple weeks and take a true break and a true, just some time away. So that's the whole point of taking a couple of weeks off. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, no matter what you celebrate. Have a very, very happy New Year. I will see you in early January. There will be a show at the end of the first week of January, just like our regular schedule. And there was one other thing that I wanted to mention. Shoot, it's gone. Yeah, I think it's gone. If I think of it, I'll tack it on here at the end. But in the meantime, happy spinning, happy knitting. And I know many of you are weavers now out there, so happy weaving, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye. I remembered what it was. Many of you will notice that you have not received your PDFs for the Thoughtful Spinner, and there hasn't been a link through YouTube for the unlisted teaching content for December. The reason is because I keep coughing, and I every time I went to record the teaching content, I started coughing and couldn't spin and cough and teach at the same time. So over the next week, you can expect that stuff in your inbox, and I hope that those, once I unlock the last month's teaching content for everybody else, I hope that you learned something and that you enjoyed the content. So I will see you in January. Happy spinning. Bye, everyone.
Water like a storm. Snow had fallen, snow and snow in the bleak midwinter. Angels and archangels may have gathered there, cherubim and seraphim throng the winter air, but his mother